All right, welcome back to Offspring Chaos. As you can see that the truck is back in the driveway, so that can only mean one thing: that it's moving under its own power. Me and Sarah have a couple more things that we need to knock out. Sarah right now is finishing up the electrical inside in the cab. We got to hook up the dumps, the kill switch, put the rest of the electrical together inside the dash, so she's knocking that out. We got to fill the AC and just a couple other little small things. So again, hope you guys enjoy this video. Hopefully we can return this truck to John very, very soon, and give you guys a little shakedown on what this truck is actually capable of. So you guys stay tuned and enjoy.
Strippers over tonight. Last time I remember, you couldn't either. Just set them back in the truck. Sorry, in the back seat. I didn't know you needed them. Hey, jacking up my videos.
Got all this crud all scraped off and whatnot. Getting this motor in here is making us that much more excited. Electrical works still plug in. We gotta run the fuel.
Offspring Chaos, and we're working on this harness.
The other stuff that had to get installed in the fuel tank because the bolts that wrap around the fuel tank. Earlier, we tried to get this thing going. We had the ignition switch here, and then I found out that the actual plug, column back down, plug her back in, do some other stuff in there. Alright, slow down now. I have to clean this truck before I show any of you guys what we got going on, because this truck has been sitting in the garage for the last, I don't know, 8 months or so. So it's got dust on it, debris, sawdust, cottonwood trees from God knows where. She's filthy. So we're gonna buff it out, clean the wheels, clean the windows, get all, you know, dead skin off, whatever else is on there, and then I'm gonna properly show you guys what we got going on. So just stay tuned and check it out. Watch me buff this thing out, and I bet you she'll come around. All right, so it's the next day. I did the intro yesterday thinking I was gonna have enough time to record everything. We lost a lot of light, so I wasn't gonna take the time to record everything and then end up not having any light to show you guys what was going on. So we stayed up pretty late last night, Sarah more than I did. She knocked everything out that was inside the truck, hooked up the kill switch, finished all the rest of the wiring. We got a couple more things to do in there, or more, she's got a couple more things to do. But she knocked it out of the park with everything inside this truck, with hooking up the wiring. So I'm gonna bring you up in here into the engine. So as you can see, LS3 is in there. Last time you guys saw it, the wiring is all torn apart. Sarah did an awesome job hooking up the BP Automotive harness for the engine and hooking it up straight to the truck to get this thing to fire up, even with the kill switch. The blockhead connector, we snipped out all the wires that we didn't need. And there's a whole bunch of write-ups on what application you guys are using. If you guys are already going to be swapping over the LS3 into a C10, there's a couple wires in the blockhead that's sitting right there that you guys won't need. AC's all hooked up, we just got to get it charged. As you can see, this is custom made. I don't know if you can get in there. That's custom made. So we had the binary switch hooked up to the high pressure switch that's coming from the BP Automotive harness. So that's all done. Cold case radiator keeps this puppy real cold. We already had it on the freeway. It stays under about 190 C. We did have a parasitic draw in the bulkhead connector that kind of stumped us for a good week or so, but we actually found out that there was an additional 12-volt supply going into that bulkhead connector that we didn't need, assuming that we needed it for the voltage readout for the dash. So me and Sarah kind of knocked that out, snipped it out that we didn't need. She hooked up all these relays. I mean, they're a ton of custom work. So let's get inside the truck and let me show you what's going on in there. So as you can see, I already left it on, that the dash looks awesome. So the dash is from Intellitronics, and if you guys watched the last video, Sarah showed you guys how to hook all that stuff up. Making sure that everything was all hooked up correctly. They did supply the oil pressure sensor and the coolant temp sensor. My dumb self, when I hooked up the coolant temp sensor adapter last time, I actually broke off the thread because it was leaking, and there's a crush washer on there that is pretty crucial when you guys are hooking that up, because if you guys over tighten it without that crush washer, you're going to be thinking it's not tight enough, you're just going to snap it right off. So but yeah, this thing is pretty freaking awesome. So like I was talking about before, we still have a couple more wires to hook up, like the radio stuff, and I think a ground for the kill switch. Actually, I don't know what that is, but we have a ground to hook up for something inside behind the dash and some speaker wires. So pretty much the interior of this truck is pretty much done, other than that we're going to kind of clean it, buff it out, whatnot. So we are dang near finishing this truck up, and I'm super excited to actually return it to John, the owner. I mean, it's been quite the experience. We got an LS3. Me and Sarah never did an LS3 swap. So we pretty much did a whole bunch of research to see what it took to actually get this thing swapped in there. And we learned a lot. So from here on out, when we work on other stuff, we'll know what it takes to be able to hook everything up correctly when it comes to the wiring and stuff like that. So you learn every day. I didn't know everything, Sarah didn't know everything, but working on this truck actually taught us a lot when it came to putting a new style engine in an old style truck. So there's actually a ton of work done under the truck when it came to the exhaust, the electrical, the transmission, the drive shaft stuff. So I'm gonna try to crawl my fat belly under there and see if I can actually show you guys what we did. So let's head under there. Let's see if I can get under there. to see, the dumps right in front of your face. So those wide open, the truck sounds really, really freaking good. The drive shaft had to be modified a little bit longer, and so did that mid bearing right here. So because of the mid bearing and how the stock truck was set up, the transmission in the other one sat a little lower. Because the trans now is set at a little bit of an angle, I couldn't get the drive shaft to actually pitch upward a little bit because of that mid bearing in here. So what I did was I got the mid bearing bracket off, I cut it shorter on one side and angled it a little bit, just enough so I wouldn't put strain on the rear end. So everything's pretty much within 2 to 3 thousandths of each other, just enough to you're not getting any crazy vibrations or anything like that going down the road. So I've drove the freeway about 80 miles an hour and I didn't feel anything. So we're good on that. Also, let's see if I can get you up in here. That bracket right there, that 3-bolt flange, you're going to need if you're going to be running the TR6060 6-speed. So I had to order that, and that's what we were waiting on previously to get this drive shaft mounted. And well, I had to measure it and then I had to mount it. So everything's all hooked up. So hopefully soon here we can fire this thing up and we can go for a ride. You can actually hear this thing run. So. thank you guys for watching us go on this incredible journey about learning how to install an LS motor into a C10 or pretty much any vehicle. I've learned a lot. You've learned a lot, I'm sure, with all the electrical and stuff like that. And she is a master when it comes to electrical, and I'm very appreciative that my wife Sarah has been able to help me, well, help John get this LS motor in this truck. As you saw, the truck runs and sounds amazing. It's not bad for our first LS swap. Hopefully in the future, in the far future, it won't be our last swap. But I can tell you it was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. And so, do you have anything else to say?
Let's go.
All right, appreciate you guys watching. This is your first video. Make sure you guys go back and watch the other Offspring video or Offspring Chaos videos. Appreciate you guys watching. And that's the chaos. That's the chaos right there. Appreciate you guys watching. See you guys next time.
Gotta go.